There's something lovingly old-fashioned about the 1995 motion picture Sabrina. Sure, it is a remake of the 1954 Sabrina. However, the atmosphere really feels antiquated for the 90s. The dialogue, the relationships, the music, and the glee are really the things that feel out of place for a 90s movie. The film stars three characters named David, Linus, and Sabrina, who all live unfulfilled lives at the beginning of the movie. Each really lack balance and sort of, dedication to a more fulfilled lifestyle. They learn how to live more fulfilled lifestyles at the end of the movie. The film's opening is an introduction to the Larrabee Mansion on Long Island, guided by Sabrina's narration.
There lived a chauffeur by the name of Fairchild, imported from England years ago, together with a Rolls Royce and a daughter named Sabrina.
Sabrina spies on her neighbors, the Larrabees, and the party that they are hosting. Her shortcoming in life is her obsession with David Larrabee. This, along with getting a better world experience, is why her father is sending her away to France. Mr. Fairchild hopes Sabrina can make new friends and get over her current obsession. From Sabrina's perch, we are also introduced to the older brother, Linus. Linus Larrabee will eventually outshine David in the story. After adjusting to Paris, Sabrina assists fashion photo shoots, makes a couple friends in the names of Louis and Irene, and hones her desire for photography. Irene states the unhealthy loneliness of Sabrina stems from her obsession with David. It is the reason holding Sabrina back from a relationship after all, possibly with Louis. The photo she brought of David is slowly covered up, but not completely, sort of symbolizing the dissipation of the obsession, but not the complete removal from her life. David's playboy-like flaws become more pronounced as the film goes along. According to Linus, David has an issue with finishing things.
Look at yourself. You went to law school. You never took the bar. You went to business school. I can't get you anywhere near the office. You studied languages you don't speak, instruments you don't play. You have a series of girlfriends you never see more than twice. Do you not see a pattern?
To put it better, David more so lacks interest and commitment when it comes to hobbies, relationships, and skills for long term. This is particularly troubling for David when he agrees to marry Elizabeth Tyson. She's assistant to head of pediatrics at a hospital, so she'll be at conferences and absent for most of the story. More importantly, she is Patrick Tyson's daughter, who is a wealthy business owner of Tyson Electronics. Tyson Electronics possesses revolutionary technology that Linus hopes to acquire.
Look at this thing. Not a scratch.
Is this some new way of changing the subject?
No one in the world has a flat panel screen this size except Patrick Tyson, and the damn thing's indestructible. He's sitting on the hottest technology in town, and everyone on Wall Street knows it. We've got so much competition on this merger.
Linus uses David's engagement, along with Elizabeth's status as daughter of Patrick Tyson, to engineer a merger between his company, Larrabee Communications, and Patrick Tyson's company, Tyson Electronics. Linus realizes the value of the technology that will bring to Larrabee Communications, as he's bought a lot of television networks recently. Patrick agrees to go through with the deal as he, quote, thinks they're like family at this point. So it's established early on that the fate and success of the merger is based on the engagement of David and Elizabeth. Quickly, though, David has second thoughts as he's a playboy and not really ready for the commitment and the responsibilities of a marriage. Eventually, with convincing from Linus and time, David accepts his engagement. News reaches Sabrina, which saddens her, but does not push her enough to move on from her obsession. She does, though, express gratitude to her father in a letter about her love for Paris and how much the trip has meant to her.
Gertrude Stein said, "America is my country, and Paris is my hometown. I'll always feel that way about Paris. I want so much for you to know what it's meant to me. It's turned cold out, but I don't feel cold. Across the street, someone is playing L'Avion Rose. They do it for the tourists, but I'm always surprised at how it moves me. It means seeing life through rose-colored glasses. Only in Paris, where the light is pink, that song makes sense. But I'll have it in my pocket when I get home. And I'll take it with me wherever I go from now on."
The engagement is shaken up once again when Sabrina returns home from Paris. David meets an older Sabrina and becomes instantly interested in her. Sabrina and David cause further distress when they are seen dancing intimately at Maud's birthday party. Maud is the Larrabee brothers' mother. Everyone becomes skeptical of David and how serious he really is to his engagement. With swift thinking, Linus causes David to harm himself when he instructs David to sit down on a chair when he has champagne glasses in his back pockets. David is placed under home hospital care while being prescribed heavy sleeping medication by Linus. Linus still wants the merger to succeed after all, so he splits up Sabrina and David. With David sleeping, Linus sends himself and Sabrina on a day trip to Martha's Vineyard. For Sabrina, Linus wants her to take photos of the cottage so he can sell the cottage using the photos. Time together with Sabrina brings Linus to reflect on his own unfulfilled life. He learns of people's perception of him, reflects on his workaholic nature and his loneliness. His loneliness and his workaholic nature are intertwined as he's seen absent and doing work for a lot of the Larrabee parties that are hosted.
Linus Larrabee is lonely. What do they say I am?
Oh, you know.
No.
Well, that you're the world's only living heart donor.
No. That.
After the trip to Martha's Vineyard, David's disappearance of interest at work at the family business is revealed.
My father once asked David why he stopped coming to the office. And David said, "What do they need me for? Linus is there."
Sabrina and Linus spend the next day together. At dinner, Sabrina shares her love for Paris and the appreciation of small things in life from her friend Irene. She cites listening to the river, the love of architecture, and the value of long walks that has really helped her find herself. Linus admits of his recent reflections to Sabrina and how he feels he never really got to choose in life. Sabrina and Linus have grown close and gathered feelings for each other at this point. Sabrina realizes the complications of a relationship with David after she questions his future intentions with her. There's still great angst in the Tyson-Larrabee engagement and merger. Patrick Tyson threatens the merger as he feels David isn't serious about the engagement and has gotten better business offers recently. By doing this, Linus concludes that Sabrina and him must go to Paris so that Sabrina does not interfere with the merger any longer. Due to the guilt of splitting up Sabrina and David and likely unable to leave his life behind, Linus breaks Sabrina's heart and convinces her to go to Paris without him. Sabrina sends a fond farewell to David and is leaving for Paris the next morning. David confronts Linus as he figures out what he's been doing the next day. David is disgusted by what Linus has been doing and feels that business should not be done this way. David sends for Elizabeth to return home so he can gain insight into what he should do next. During his confession to her, he keeps his engagement and decides to work at the family business. Burdened by guilt, Linus still hopes David can rejoin Sabrina in Paris, but David's simply not interested. Linus calls an emergency meeting to end the merger, thus the engagement as well. Now it's David who saves the merger, which baffles Linus. Linus is convinced to, quote, run away from home, end quote, and repair things with Sabrina. Sabrina and Linus can now finally share their love for each other. The film Sabrina has a few fantastic messages and quotes in the movie. The film focuses on finding yourself, learning when to quit, and sometimes your dreams in life don't exactly meet your expectations. The central focus is 3 lives becoming more fulfilled. David and Linus are in all ways opposites, but share an extreme passion that causes detriments to their lives. David works far too little, and Linus works obsessively. Both do things for their own best interest. David finds a lover that is going to be easy on him, while Linus finds someone who's going to be tough on him. Sabrina realizes her passions for photography and learns the quality traits of love and also learns how to get over an obsession. There's great connections we can all find within the struggles and life changes of these characters. At times, we too have felt unfulfilled with our own lives.
On the north shore of Long Island, not far from New York, there was a very, very large mansion, almost a castle, and life was pleasant there, and very, very simple. But then one day, the girl grew up and found the world.